Hey everyone, it's been a long time. I'm here today with a new video and it is how to knit a honeycomb dishcloth. And it was actually requested by one of you guys, one of my subscribers, and if you ever have an idea of something to knit or you want to know how to knit something, you can write it in the comments below and I may do a video on it. But for now we're going to do the honeycomb dishcloth and let's start right now. So actually Faith in her instructions, she says that she uses 5 US needles, but I am using 6 US needles because that's what I have. And then you need cotton yarn, a pair of scissors, and a tapestry needle. And that's pretty much it for this project. It's not an easy project, so do not start with this project if you're a beginner. So for the first step, we'll cast on 38 stitches. And the first stitch is you need to do a knot, but you don't finish it. You're going to pass your needle through it and pull on the yarn to make it tighter around the needle. And then after this, with your index finger, you'll be able to cast on the 37 other stitches. In Faith's pattern, she uses 50 stitches, but I am using 38 because I found 50 was too many for me. But you can really do what you want. She says that you'll need a multiple of 4 plus 6 stitches for this pattern. I'm actually using this cast on technique because for me it's the quickest and easiest way to do it. But I know there's many out there, so use the one you want. So before starting with the pattern, we're gonna first knit the first row. And the knit stitch is actually simple, but it can be hard for beginners, that's for sure. But what you need to do is pass the right needle through the first stitch and make sure that your needle is in the back. Then wrap your yarn over the needle and you're gonna pull your left needle over your right needle and pull your right needle out. I hope these instructions are clear, but anyways, you just repeat that till the end of the row. And now we're gonna start doing the pattern. And the first row is simple. You're gonna knit all the stitches. Now for row 2, we're gonna knit the first 2 stitches. Then we're gonna purl to the last 2 stitches. To purl, you need to bring your yarn to the front and pass your second needle through the stitch towards the front, and then you're gonna wrap the yarn counterclockwise around your needle, pull your left needle over the right needle, and then you can pull off your right needle. And you continue the same steps over and over. And then we're gonna finish with the last 2 stitches by knitting them. Now row 3 actually gets a bit complicated, but first you're gonna knit 3 stitches, and I'm sorry for the filming on this one. I was trying a new technique. It's not really good, I know, but anyways, you know how to do knitting stitches, so that's fine. And then we're gonna start doing the repetition of knit 2 together. Then you're gonna yarn over twice So take your yarn and wrap it counterclockwise around your right needle 2 times. And then we're doing the slip knit pass. So you're gonna slip purlwise, then knit the next stitch, and make sure to pass over the slip stitch. And then we're gonna do it again, so knit 2 together, yarn over twice, and slip purlwise, knit the following stitch, and pass over the slip stitch over the knit stitch. And you're gonna repeat this until the last 3 stitches on your left needle. So I'm showing you one last time how to do the repetition of knit 2 together, yarn over twice, and slip knit pass. So this is the last time we're repeating it. And now to finish, you're gonna knit the last 3 stitches. Row 4 is exactly like row 2, so you knit 2, purl to the last 2 stitches, then knit 2, but there's actually a small detail, is that when you're knitting and then you see there's a double yarn over from the last row, you have to knit the first stitch and then purl the second stitch. So yeah, so here we started purling, and then later on we see, like just now, we have this double yarn over. Like you see those loops, like they're not actually connected to the rest of your knitting, and that when you see this, you need to knit the first loop and then purl the second one. So that's why you really have to look at your knitting at your project. You got to look at how it looks like your stitches, because you have to knit the first stitch of a double yarn over, and yeah, but the rest is exactly the same as row 2. You have to purl all the other stitches until the last 2 stitches, and then with the last 2 stitches you're just gonna knit them, and this makes the border of your dishcloth. So here we're continuing purling, and this is a knit stitch because that was a double yarn over, and then we're purling to the last 2 stitches like I said before. And then now we're knitting the last 2 stitches of the row. So for the 5th row, we're just gonna knit all the stitches. For row 6, we're gonna knit 2, purl to the last 2 stitches, and then knit 2. So it's exactly like row 2. For the 7th row, we first knit the 3 first stitches. Then we'll repeat the following: yarn over, slip knit, pass, knit 2 together, and yarn over again. So here we're finishing with yarn over, and then we go to the front of the repetition and we yarn over again, and then we continue with the slip knit pass, and we continue the pattern, and we repeat that, the yarn over, slip knit pass, knit 2 together, and yarn over until the last 3 stitches, which we will knit. For the last row, we are first going to knit the first 2 stitches. Then we're purling to the last 2 stitches, but as in row 4, when you see a double yarn over, the first loop you have to knit it, and the second loop you purl it. And we're finishing off by knitting the last 2 stitches. As you can see, we're now starting to have this honeycomb effect, and we're gonna have it throughout the whole project. So you're gonna repeat the rows 1 to 8 until we have this squarish shape. So now that we've knitted enough of the pattern, we're gonna knit 1 row, which will make the border. And now for the last step, we're gonna cast off all the stitches knitwise. So you basically just need to knit one stitch, and the previous stitch you need to pull it over the stitch you just knitted. So now you're left with one stitch on the needle, so pull it and then cut the yarn, and then you'll need to pass the yarn through the stitch, which will make a knot, and then we're gonna weave in the ends. So take your tapestry needle, and after we weave in the ends, we'll cut the loose yarn. So here we have it, the final dishcloth, the honeycomb dishcloth. I hope you'll have fun knitting it. I certainly did. And please write to me in the comments below if you have any questions or how it went for you, and if you have any requests about future videos that I could possibly make. So thank you for watching. Here is the last video I've made. You can also subscribe if you'd like, and like this video, that would make me smile.